20 years ago, we asked ourselves a simple question. What does it really take to save a species? We understood that to save wildlife, we needed heroes, role models working to inspire us to care for the natural world, people fighting on the front lines to save wild things and wild places. The Indianapolis Prize shines a light on these heroes, amplifying their stories for the world to see, to share the magic of the creatures many take for granted, and to sound the alarm about what we stand to lose if we don't save them. We have amplified their voices, celebrated their breakthroughs, and watched their impact ripple across the continents. An expanding network of conservation heroes, scientists and wildlife ambassadors who teach us that true conservation is not just about saving species. It's about instilling humanity with empathy, curiosity, and a sense of wonder for the living planet we all call home. The Indianapolis Prize has shown us that one person can make a difference, and we've proven that together we can change the world. 20 years of impact, and we're just getting started.
Welcome to the Indianapolis Prize.
I'm Scott Swan at the Indianapolis Zoo. We're here celebrating 20 years of the Indianapolis Prize, the world's leading conservation award. The prize was created 2 decades ago by the Indianapolis Zoo as part of its commitment to conservation. The winner gets $250,000 to continue their efforts, and each DeHaan finalist receives $50,000. This year's winner, Dr. Lily Arison Renee de Rolland, along with the other DeHaan finalists, were honored recently at a gala at the JW Marriott in downtown Indianapolis. It was hosted by NBC Chief Environmental Affairs correspondent Ann Thompson and conservationist TV producer Saba Douglas Hamilton. It was truly an incredible night to recognize these champions for our planet. We're inside the aviary here at the Indianapolis Zoo and meeting and feeding some of our new feathered friends. Our winner of the Indianapolis Prize is someone who has saved many species, including birds. And he's also helped rediscover some animals that many people thought were extinct. Today, I want you to meet our winner, Dr. Lily.
Everybody knows Lily in Madagascar. Lily's everywhere.
You never know, just talking to him, how big a deal he is, especially in his own community.
When you first meet him, he's so quiet and he's so humble. You can't really imagine that he's done so many incredible things.
Dr. Lily Arison Renee de Rolland's respect is hard-earned. Raised in a small village in northern Madagascar, he was immersed in the island's natural world from childhood. Madagascar is a biodiversity hotspot where nearly 90% of wildlife species are endemic, but with 75% of people living in poverty and relentless deforestation, this biological treasure faces a critical tipping point. As a biology student in the early 1990s, Lily became the first Malagasy to join the Peregrine Fund's Madagascar program. He rose through the ranks, becoming national director in 2004. His mission, show the world Madagascar's value by empowering his fellow Malagasy to become guardians of their own wild inheritance.
Madagascar is unique. We do not have Eiffel Tower. We do not have Statue of Liberty. But we have the baobab, we have the lemurs, we have the chameleons.
Lily cut his teeth doing some of the hardest field work in the world in remote jungles in northern Madagascar.
First and foremost, he's a species guy, and he just loves those birds. You go out with him in the field, and he shows you the pochard or the red owl or the serpent eagle, and you can just see the love there.
This kind of trees is used by Madagascar doll
for roosting.
Early fieldwork contributed to locating breeding populations of several rare species, including the Madagascar serpent eagle and red owl. In 2007, while surveying remote lakes in Bevanefka, Lily made a career-defining discovery: Madagascar pochards, diving ducks presumed extinct since the early 1990s. This work led to the creation of 5 nationally protected areas spanning over 1,500 square miles, critical to preserving natural habitat for some of the world's rarest creatures.
I saw a bird with wet eye. At that time, it looks like a dream. It's Madagascar pochard.
Des pochards, c'est déjà pas trouvé en 91, 1991, mais en 2007, il trouve cette espèce. Et à partir de ça, il fait tous les moyens pour protéger la nature.
The management is very important. At this protected area, there are different ecosystems, primary forests and wetlands, marshes and lake, and also a savanna. So the different ecosystems pushed this area to have lots of biodiversity.
For Lily, species recovery was never just about animals, it was also about people. He has mentored over 100 Malagasy students while building a generation of local conservation leaders. His approach combines rigorous science with deep empathy, rooted in collaboration with rural communities. Through the Peregrine Fund's Madagascar program, Lily is proving the future of conservation belongs to those who call these wild places home.
Lily is truly exemplary of just being a leader in conservation and a shift in the global conservation community of really recognizing the local leaders, the local people doing the incredibly important work.
Lily est très connue ici à Madagascar en tant que professeur à se faire avec la communauté locale. On ne doit pas séparer les aspects scientifiques des aspects réels de la vie quotidienne. Et donc, ce qui fait de Lily, en fait, une personnage vraiment crucial ici à Madagascar. Il y a beaucoup qui ont réussi leur vie grâce à Lily.
Look at the top of the dead trees. It's a peregrine falcon.
Lily's like a saint of conservation. The world is so much better off for having Lily and all the incredible work he's done.
Quand Lily quittait ce projet, je perds. C'est très très bon homme. Il pense que la nature c'est son sang.
Going into the field means to me that I meet my family. I love it.
The Malagasy is proud of having Lily, our representative to the world. Saving species from extinction is a mission. He has fulfilled his mission.
I got a chance to sit down with Dr. Lilly when he was here in Indianapolis for the Prize Gala. You'll hear our conversation coming up in our next half hour. I'm here now with the orangutans here at the Indianapolis Zoo. Got a handsome fellow right behind me. Our next Indianapolis Prize finalist has literally risked her life to save these amazing animals.
When I was a child, I would lie in our backyard underneath these huge oak trees and wonder, where did we come from? Who are we? And of course, the great apes are our closest living relatives in the animal kingdom, and so I was very much drawn to them, animals who are very closely related to us. When I went to UCLA, I met Louis Leakey and told him what I wanted to do. I wanted to study orangutans because he was a great paleoanthropologist, archaeologist, and he was already a living legend. I knew that he would help me. Borneo was one of the last wild places left on this earth. It was very much isolated from the rest of the world. I couldn't believe it. It was like a dream. I was there to do science. I was there to do research on orangutan life histories. But I also knew that they were in trouble.
Much of what we know about orangutans can be credited to Dr. Baruti Mary Galdigas. For over 50 years, Galdigas has conducted groundbreaking research and conservation efforts focused on critically endangered orangutans in the jungles of Indonesia and Borneo. Through her organization, Orangutan Foundation International, she's dedicated herself to saving rainforest habitats as well as the rehabilitation and release of hundreds of orphaned orangutans. Her early studies on orangutan behavior and ecology forever changed the way we thought of our close wild relatives.
Baruti is a magical person. She's absolutely a giant of conservation and a giant of biology. She did the studies on orangutans that have increased our knowledge of the lives of wild orangutans. There is no single site project that's been as long and illustrious as this one.
I was following wild orangutans by myself, day in, day out. So I documented a lot of things that people didn't know about orangutans. I was elated.
In the 1970s, Dr. Galdigas rose to fame as one of the leading voices of the emerging animal conservation movement. Alongside fellow primatologists Jane Goodall and Diane Fossey, she became part of a groundbreaking generation of field researchers studying our closest relatives. While Galdigas was gaining international recognition for her work, the reality of conservation efforts on the ground was anything but glamorous.
Dr. G is very soft-spoken, but the life she has led in trying to save these orangutans is anything but soft. She almost died of malaria. She's been kidnapped. She's had death threats, and I don't know of anybody who's gone through quite as much as that.
You know, you get a certain amount of, you might call it celebrity, but the celebrity doesn't protect you against the illegal loggers and the palm oil plantation concessionaires. I was struggling against an industry that was making billions of dollars. It did sometimes come to physical violence.
The major impact of palm oil on orangutans is that it basically decimates their home. Because palm oil is grown in massive monocropped areas, the forest is cut down and they no longer have anywhere to live.
At the heart of Dr. Galdigas' mission stands Camp Leakey in Borneo's Tanjung Puting National Park. Here, orphaned orangutans learn vital forest skills from human caregivers before being returned to the wild, while critical conservation work continues under her guidance. Her legacy is secured as her son Frederick prepares to lead Orangutan Foundation International into the future.
I've dedicated most of my life to orangutans and conservation, so it will not stop here. That whole legacy of sustainability, we're just continuing what you're doing.
Jelas, Dr. Baruti itu memang menginspirasi untuk banyak orang. Saya berpikir kalau tidak ada Dr. Baruti, mungkin orangutan sudah punah.
I think we need orangutans because we need nature. We need orangutans to teach us how we are human. They show us where we've been. They also help us understand where we're going.
Her decades of dedication helped build the foundation for the next generation of conservationists. People like Mwezi Badru Magira. He's the winner of the second ever Emerging Conservationist Award. This $50,000 award is given to an individual under the age of 40 who's made a significant contribution to saving species.
Mwezi always does what Mwezi wants, and what Mwezi wants is typically out of the box. He's grown up in Kampala, a city boy he would call himself.
We could read and study a lot of ecology. I think like that opened my eyes and my brain. But one thing was true for me, even at that young age, wildlife is something I found fascinating.
Actually, when we were told he's going to do a degree in conservation, we were like, what is this?
Uganda's vast landscapes tell a story of extraordinary biodiversity, but wildlife here faces mounting pressures from human encroachment, poaching, and climate change. It was in this complex environment that a young Ugandan student, Mwezi Badru Magera, discovered his calling as a volunteer at the Institute of Tropical Forest Conservation, located at the edge of Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. While Bwindi is famous for its mountain gorillas, Mwezi turned his focus to a much lesser-known endangered species, forging a path that would challenge traditional approaches to conservation.
We are heading to see the African golden cat. So let's go and check them out.
Studying the golden cat was very difficult. I've been here for 35 years now. I've only seen it once.
The African golden cat is a phantom of Uganda's forests. While Mugera founded his conservation organization, he chose to name it Mbaka, the local word for this mysterious cat. Using camera traps and artificial intelligence tools to monitor and survey its population, Mwezi discovered that local hunters were accidentally trapping the cats while hunting other animals.
Imagine like this is an animal, and then once it steps in, its foot is locked in.
Understanding that protecting the forest meant investing in the people who call it home, Mbaka created programs providing livestock and financial loans as well as healthcare initiatives. This strategy proves that when families have economic stability and physical wellness, they become conservation's most powerful allies.
For me, conservation is about people. We're able to transition into actually having pragmatic conservation initiatives that address the root causes of poverty. One of the key drivers for bushmeat hunting is the need for money and the need for meat. We donate a female reproductive animal. Then when they get offspring, they donate some of those to their nearest neighbor. And the nearest neighbor does the same.
The success of Mbaka's model has now spread across Africa. Mugera has replicated this approach in 19 countries, building the African Golden Cat Conservation Alliance with over 2,000 members. His work has created ripple effects across communities throughout the continent.
It's not enough just to protect them in one country. I think it's really important to scale. I really admire Badru for going out there and making that great effort to replicate this model in other countries in Africa, working with partners on the ground. And this means that golden cats will have a secure future in the whole continent.
Communities have really seen a change, and they are also recruiting more people.
He's very passionate about his work. He will do anything to achieve his goals. He wants to see the world change their mindset about conservation.
He's just a kind person. He's a good person. It's that drive to be good. I feel that's what makes him great.
The more enthusiasm you get from people, the more I keep falling in love with this work. Any kid out there, you can contribute and have a lasting impact to saving the planet, to saving nature, and to saving the species that we love.
And we are with Mwezi now, our emerging conservationist. You're here at the Indianapolis Zoo. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. It's my honor to be here. Really, thank you.
The African golden cat is such a beautiful animal, and yet you've been telling me that you really haven't seen one in person very often, have you?
No, it's not called Africa's least known wildcat species for no good reason. Super shy, super cryptic, and also they occur in really small numbers. So myself, I've seen them only 3 times for my 15-year career, and even those 3 times, it's just a piece of the body. It's either a face or a tail. So yes, they are really, really hard to see in the wild.
And they are beautiful animals, aren't
they?
And
are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Fascinating, the natural history of these animals. They come in 3 different colors. You have the melanistic one, or the black ones. You have the golden brown ones, and then you have the gray ones. One animal, 3 different colors.
Wow.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
What will winning the Emerging Conservationist Award do for you moving forward?
It's massive. It's real. I'm not yet used to the fact that I'm here for this prize, but also, like, in one way, for me, I feel it's the appreciation or the recognition of the work I've done for the past 15 years or so. So in one way, it's a recognition, but also in the other way, it's encouragement that keep doing the good work, keep moving. The world is watching. And we are celebrating the efforts you're putting in this work, and just not me, but like even the previous winners for the prize, and the ones that also are contenders for this prize.
So Moise has only seen the African golden cat 3 times in person in his 15 years. So it's unlikely that you and I will ever see an African golden cat. But what are some of the things that all of us can do to help with the conservation effort?
Very good question. I think just to put the word out there. Put the word about conservation, how it's important to take care of our planet, our wildlife, our nature, because for us we need nature to thrive, and nature also needs us to thrive. So we need each other. So I think, like, the word, my humble appeal would be people to just spread the word far and wide, why we should conserve species like the African golden cat, which is not so well known in the mainstream public.
Congratulations on winning this award. We wish you a lot of luck moving forward, and thank you for taking such great care of the African golden cat.
No, thank you so much. I wish to thank the Indianapolis Prize for the for the honor to have me here as the prize winner for this year, but also just to thank everyone who's involved in conservation, not only for the African golden cat, but also for all the other species that we know they're endangered and they're threatened, and they need support from anyone to make sure that they can survive long term. Thank you.
Moise, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. And we can shake on it as well?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And we're here with Dr. Rob Shoemaker, who's the president and CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo. Dr. Rob, great to be with you again today. So we've just heard from the winner of the Emerging Conservationist. Why is it so important for us to continue conservation efforts with this next generation?
Scott, I'm so happy you're talking about the Emerging Conservationist Award. So this is our 2nd time awarding it, so only our 2nd recipient. And Badru's just a phenomenal guy, and he really typifies exactly why we began the Emerging Conservationist Award. And it's very straightforward. We really wanted to capture someone who has had a number of significant accomplishments, but is still fairly early in their career, and find a way to give them a lift, give them some resources, give them the attention they need to firmly be grounded in their position and really advance their work. We know that was true with our first winner, Fanny Cornejo. She has had spectacular success as a result of being the first emerging conservationist. I think it'll be exactly the same for Badru, doing tremendous work in Uganda and throughout the continent of Africa.
Dr. Rob, let's talk about the winner of the Indianapolis Prize, Dr. Lilly, doing great things. Tell us a little bit about his work.
Dr. Lilly is such an interesting and wonderful man, and he's very quiet, very humble, and I think the prize has come out of the blue for him a little bit, but he's doing really remarkable things in Madagascar. He has really done his own work, protected habitat, protected species, and now is developing an entire generation of people from Madagascar who are committed to saving their own species, their own habitat, and what a remarkable accomplishment. He certainly deserves the Indianapolis Prize. He is legendary already.
Dr. Robb, what is the impact of winning the Indianapolis Prize?
Of course, there is a cash award that goes along with this, $250,000, which is substantial for letting the recipient advance their work. We hear over and over and over, as important as that is, even rivaling that, and in some ways more important, is the exposure that it provides the winners and the credibility it gives them and the doors it opens.
So the Indianapolis Prize has this amazing history. It was set up 20 years ago to help save species, but really, Dr. Robb, this has become more of this Nobel Peace Prize for conservation efforts, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. We hear that a lot. So this is our 20th anniversary and the 10th winner of the Indianapolis Prize. So in that way, we are closing one chapter from being our founding winner all the way through to number 10, and now we're looking forward to the next 20 years and establishing the Indianapolis Prize, continuing something that is influential for the recipients and a force for good in saving species from extinction.
All right, Dr. Robb Shoemaker with the Indianapolis Zoo, thanks so much. We have so much more of our Indianapolis Prize special. It's all coming up next.
If you're worried about your AC lasting through this hot summer, give us a call. We would love to inspect it, and if you happen to need a new one, we can get you into a new Carrier system for as low as $69 a month. Remember, Plumbing Heating Paramedics, your fast responders.
Not a word about the bangs?
The smartest Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Guaranteed. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Think you need a new roof? Think again and save thousands.
We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. Call now or scan the code and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
Welcome back. I'm making some friends with Hugo, one of the great kangaroos here at the Indianapolis Zoo. And what's really cool is you can go ahead and come in here and feed them as well. They are so fun to be around. Our next Indianapolis Prize finalist is someone who created a conservation habitat for tree kangaroos in Papua New Guinea. Let's go ahead and see her work.
I was born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx. My mom always had a love of nature, so we would try wherever we could find nature in New York City, which was a lot of urban parks, and then the Bronx Zoo.
The green spaces of New York City sparked something fundamental in young Lisa Daybeck, a curiosity about the natural world that would define her career. Joining the staff at Seattle's Woodland Park Zoo early in her career, a pivotal moment came during a chance encounter with a captive, endangered tree kangaroo.
If you meet a tree kangaroo, you kind of fall in love. And I realized, this is it. This is my animal. And that's when I started connecting what I can learn about their biology in zoos. I can then take to Papua New Guinea and try to do something to help the world.
Papua New Guinea occupies the eastern half of the world's second largest island north of Australia. Here in the remote cloud forests of the Huon Peninsula, Daybeck established the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Project in 1996. Her approach was unique. Rather than impose Western conservation methods, she developed a community conservation model. Local villagers would become the primary stewards of their land, receiving training and resources to protect tree kangaroo habitat while maintaining their traditional way of life. A great plan, but one met with challenges.
Many of the wildlife conservation colleagues at the time said she would not be successful.
that Papua New Guinea was too rugged, too difficult.
It's a country that's being called a graveyard of conservation projects. Papua New Guinea, almost 80% of the territory is tribally owned and managed in a country that speaks almost 800 languages. So how do you make all those people talk to each other?
Papua New Guineans, they hunt tree kangaroos, and they're very important to them culturally. From day one, the tree kangaroo conservation program was not about telling the local people you can't hunt tree kangaroos. It was more about, do you want your children to be able to hunt tree kangaroos? Do you want your children's children to be able to hunt tree kangaroos?
The Tree Kangaroo Project's One Health model focuses on healthy humans, healthy wildlife, and a healthy environment. Village by village, DABEC built trust and empowered people across 50 remote communities, uniting them in a shared vision of conservation. By 2009, their collective effort achieved what many thought impossible: Papua New Guinea's first nationally recognized community-managed protected area. The Use Conservation Area now protects nearly 190,000 acres of pristine wilderness from coral reefs at sea level to cloud forest peaks. The addition of modern healthcare, schools, and sustainable income streams have helped Use communities make conservation profitable while ensuring the future of their natural heritage.
She has been able to not just solve the problem of an animal under threat of extinction, but she's also been able to improve the livelihoods of the people who live in the forest where the animal also lives.
Before Papa Tumbuna all nopin tingin na cross to kirim na finishing. Miplay tambuin conservation long posim na lookout all wildlife.
I think it's amazing that of all places, the place where everyone said, oh, Lisa wouldn't be able to work there, it's too rough, it's too primitive, they've become the beacon of light in the direction that conservation needs to go.
There you are. Good baby. So when I first went to Papua New Guinea, were you nervous that I was going?
Well, I didn't like the looks of that plane that they took you on, but I managed. I am grateful that I've lived this long to see. I am so proud of her that it will last me however long I last. I just became 95, so I don't have too much more to go. Who knows? Who knows?
I feel very grateful to be able to do this work and be able to give back to the world. This is my life's work.
I'm here in the conservatory at the Gardens, just a beautiful place to enjoy nature. Our next finalist is someone who's been working out in the field, really leading the charge for conservation in his home country of Brazil.
Alberto always have the best ideas. Here in Brazil, say, botar a mão na massa. He's not the guy afraid to get hands dirty. This is the guy that you want to work with.
He's first and foremost a naturalist. He's also very good at identifying problems and then offering solutions to those problems.
Alberto was a natural leader. He had a future vision about conservation since the beginning.
I think I was born with this desire to help wildlife. I remember when I was around 16 years old, I did a stencil with a piece of paper, and I started spraying on the walls in the neighborhood, something I copied from the World Wildlife Fund, saying that extinction is forever with a panda.
Born in Sao Paulo's urban sprawl, Alberto Campos was drawn to Brazil's wild coastlines. While still an undergraduate in 1994, he co-founded Aquasis and relocated to the northeastern state of Ceará.
Aquasis tries to do a very holistic type of conservation process because it involves community engagement, long-term awareness campaigns, private protected areas, large public protected areas. All our projects have conservation action plans.
The organization emerged from a simple mission: prevent wildlife extinctions through long-term conservation programs targeting umbrella species for broader ecosystem protection. They began with endangered forest birds and the vanishing Antillean manatee.
Manatees used to get inside river mouths to give birth. The river mouths are getting shallower, shallower, and narrower, so the pregnant manatees are not entering the estuaries anymore to give birth. So they're giving birth in the open ocean. The coastal current here is very, very strong, and the babies cannot cope with that. The rescue process starts with the coastal fishermen communities getting in touch with us and saying that manatees have stranded.
They come to the rehabilitation centers. We determine what the health needs are.
We have to educate them because they didn't have any education from their mothers. So this is the marine enclosure that we use to release and acclimatize the manatees. So they stay there for a year or so until they are used to the currents, they are used to their natural food, and then they are softly released back to the wild. Not many people get used to the smell, they get seasick, but you know, it's worth it. It's worth it to do this for the manatees.
Campos and the Aquasis team helped secure the Antillean manatee's improvement on the IUCN Red List from critically endangered to endangered in Brazil by 2014. Aquasis developed conservation programs for birds endemic to northern Brazil, focusing on the forest areas where the gray-breasted parakeet was critically endangered.
After some research, we realized that the gray-breasted parakeet was one of the most endangered parakeets in the Americas.
When it started, the estimation of the birds, it was less than 100.
Brazil has always been a target for not just collectors of birds with good intentions, but also taken advantage of by illegal wildlife trade. One of Alberto's ideas was to try to use artificial nest boxes. Quite literally reverse the extinction of the species.
It was game changing for the gray-breasted because it's a symbol for a protection of this threatened environment. So it's very important to keep him alive and have the right to exist as well.
Now Campos is focused on his next phase of conservation, rewilding. He's working to create Brazil's first large-scale reserve, aimed at reintroducing lost species and rebuilding the ecological networks that sustained entire ecosystems.
Ele tem diferencial, que é conseguir convencer as pessoas de que ele realmente se importa com aquilo que ele está fazendo. Né? Por gostar da natureza, isso faz com que ele tenha um poder de persuasão e engajar pessoas nessa defesa pela conservação.
I always try to go to the field all the time, to be part of it and be proud of it.
Welcome to the oceans here at the Indianapolis Zoo. I love this exhibit because you can get really close to these stingrays, which is so cool. Our next finalist is a leader in ocean conservation. She's actually using her hometown to make changes around the world.
John Kennedy said that the oceans are the salt in our veins. Julie, the salt in her veins is about the oceans as well. Her heart and soul are totally dedicated to protecting our oceans. That's what she's about.
Growing up in the 50s and 60s, my youth was certainly full of a lot of time outdoors. That was an incredibly important time and really the birth of the environmental movement. We've got to be all in on making change for a better world, and I was definitely part of all of that.
Growing up in Northern California's Santa Clara Valley, Julie Packard transformed her childhood love of nature into a career dedicated to ocean conservation. The daughter of Hewlett-Packard co-founder David Packard, her family set out on an ambitious plan in the late 1970s to convert an abandoned cannery in downtown Monterey, California, into the revolutionary Monterey Bay Aquarium. Unlike traditional aquariums showcasing exotic species from distant waters, this institution would tell the story of Monterey Bay itself, pumping seawater directly from the bay into a towering kelp forest and creating a living, breathing extension of the Pacific Ocean. When the aquarium opened in 1984, Julie became executive director and began to leverage the aquarium's role in ocean conservation.
We also really need to raise public awareness about the need for ocean conservation.
Julie understands so deeply the importance of science to inform action. This aquarium has really set the tone and the pace and the example for aquaria around the world.
This whole place is about engaging and exciting and inspiring. It's a communication mechanism.
Under Packard's leadership, the aquarium developed a world-class research arm conducting groundbreaking studies, including white shark migration, bluefin tuna tracking across ocean basins, pioneering jellyfish husbandry techniques, plastic pollution campaigns, and crucial sea otter rehabilitation that helps save the species from extinction. This scientific research armed political leaders with the evidence needed to establish the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary in 1992. Covering over 6,000 square miles, it is one of the largest marine protected areas in the United States, safeguarding the very waters that inspired the aquarium's mission.
I would never have been able to get that done were it not for the support that I got from Julie and from the scientists at the aquarium, who really gave me what I needed in order to make the case for why Monterey Bay should be protected.
In 1999, Packard was instrumental in launching the Seafood Watch program, which provides science-based sustainability ratings that have transformed seafood purchasing worldwide and is exemplified through the aquarium's own restaurants, which serve only sustainable source seafood, demonstrating ocean stewardship in action.
The Seafood Watch program created powerful commercial incentives for more sustainable fishing and has succeeded in nothing less than transforming the global seafood industry and creating the conditions under which marine fisheries could become more sustainable and recover. And that's a big deal.
And fast forward 20 years later, we have over 200 zoos and aquariums who leverage our Seafood Watch information to raise awareness in their communities and to promote sustainable fisheries and aquaculture.
I'm most proud of the fact that this aquarium somehow has become a huge recognizable brand and a force for conservation and a trusted source of information. You have to earn that trust, and you know we work hard to protect that.
There's no doubt but the Monterey Bay Aquarium is Julie's legacy. It's a combination of inspiration, education, action, conservation, all coming together. That has changed millions of people around the world. Powerful.
She's so positive and she's so dedicated. I think she's always moving, just like the ocean.
The fact that you can now see these small kids who go into the aquarium and seeing that light in their eyes, Julie Packard has made a difference in people's lives.
And we're back with Dr. Rob. This time we're inside the Global Center for Species Survival. And Dr. Rob, this really gives us a great idea about what's happening conservation-wise around the world.
I'm so proud of this department here at the zoo. We have a team of conservation experts, and their full-time job is to facilitate the success of conservation projects all around the world. Now, we do that by working with our own team, of course, working with people who are situated in the field, but also also collaborating with a vast network of conservationists around the world in the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. They are our primary collaborators for this project. So we are tens of thousands of people strong supporting conservation all around the globe.
And you get a real good visual idea about all the conservation projects taking place around the world by checking out this map. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, I kind of love this old school map. It's just a simple relief map, but every single one of the places that the Indianapolis Zoo is working in the wild is noted here. And by the way, those projects change on a very regular basis. Some change annually. Some projects only need support for 1 year, some for longer. But I can give you a great example. Of course, here's Indiana. We are focused on a number of projects right here in Indiana, but also all around the world. It's an incredible achievement for us because our funds are flowing directly to where they make the biggest difference. But the other big point to me is most people who come to the zoo have a wonderful time, but they don't realize that our reach is actually international. So, of course, our heart and soul is right here in Indianapolis, as it should be. But the work we do here at the zoo and the support from our visitors is what allows us to have an international impact that I'm so proud of.
And these conservation projects aren't just taking place all around the world. In fact, they're happening here in Indiana. Our 13 meteorologist, Matt Standridge, has this great new series called Inside the Indianapolis Zoo that you can watch on WTHR+. And recently, Matt got a chance to see one of the projects in action here in the Hoosier State.
Hey everyone, I'm just outside the Global Center for Species Survival, and just beyond these doors is the Hellbender Lab. That's where these giant salamanders are raised, and we had the chance to tag along and watch them get released back into their natural habitat of southern Indiana.
Whoever's out here participating in the release, they go out in the river, they put them in a net, and then we actually let them take the hellbender and put them in one of our release cages that we keep the hellbenders in for a few days.
Up a little bit.
So the hellbenders, they stay in these cages for a few days just to give them a chance to acclimate to the river conditions.
Maybe. Well, he's at least squirmy.
And then they're free to go.
To learn more about the zoo's conservation efforts, you can check out our series Inside the Indianapolis Zoo, streaming monthly on WTHR+.
I want to introduce you to Kubwa. This is a 49-year-old, 7,500-pound African elephant. Just gorgeous, majestic, and so popular here at the Indianapolis Zoo. Our next Indianapolis Prize finalist knew his mission from a very early age, and in fact has worked to save species along with the ones that he loves the most.
Yeah, I think I was always going to be a conservationist. These remote cameras provide a window into the life of the forest. I grew up in Africa. All of those early memories are about nature. It was the wildlife that inspired me. My baby brother was an orphan chimpanzee my parents adopted. And so I don't think there was any doubt about my destiny.
Born in Manchester and raised in Uganda, Lee James Taylor White was a zoologist with a doctorate from Edinburgh when he first arrived in the small West African nation of Gabon in 1989. There he found the rainforest of the Congo Basin teeming with gorillas, chimpanzees, forest elephant, and much more. Working out of a remote research station in Lopi National Forest and joined by his wife, Dr. Kate Abernathy, White began documenting the devastating effects of poaching and logging on wildlife. What started as academic research became a 30-year mission that would transform White into a powerful environmental voice.
I had arrived in a tropical paradise. Kate and I were a team and we were out in the forest. We were raising the kids in the rainforest.
White's bridge into conservation policy work began in 2002 when he encouraged then Gabonese President Omar Bongo to create 13 national parks in the Congo Basin covering over 5 million acres. When Omar Bongo died in 2009, his son Ali Bongo inherited the presidency and soon named White head of national parks. White was tasked with defending Gabon's natural heritage against forces that had already devastated neighboring countries.
I was fighting Boko Haram and fighting the forestry mafia. The violence escalated, and we literally transformed biologists into warriors that went to war with the poachers, and that was the only reason the elephant survived. We brought down a $300 million forestry mafia.
In 2019, White's success earned an appointment as Gabon's Minister of Environment. He could now move beyond protecting individual parks to creating national policy that would safeguard the entire Congo Basin ecosystem.
Forest elephant populations were growing. The economy was also growing. You had more elephants, more revenues into the government, more employment, and more carbon in the ground.
I went into it knowing that at some point it might come to a hard end. But it did come to an end.
Army officers have appeared on national television in Gabon claiming they've taken power.
In August 2023, decades of Bongo family rule came to an end. Citing corruption, military officers announced their coup in Gabon. For White, as a senior minister in the ousted government, the writing was on the wall. Within days, he was removed from office and detained.
I went through about a 6-week process of being questioned about the fact that I had supposedly stolen $1 billion of carbon credits. I was unsure as to whether or not I would end up in a Gabonese prison.
The injustice of it was very shocking. To be accused of things you haven't done for anyone is difficult. It became obvious that the threats against Lee was just a piece of performance. You know, we need you to fall.
Then I understood that it was the mafia trying to get back at me. And after that, it was okay. I kind of understood the game. I set out to write one book. 760 pages later, the editor tells me I wrote 3 books, not one. So it's about conservation. It's about saving elephants and African forests through my eyes and my experiences. In my heart, I still have a responsibility to those forests. So I'll always be there for Gabon. And I still have this mission to be the spokesman for my chimpanzee brother. To be the spokesman for the elephants and the gorillas, and to try to inspire the world.
Sounds good. All right, let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's good. Okay.
Dr. Schaller, from
Name is George.
Understood. Thank you.
I remember when the Indianapolis Prize was launched, looking at the nominees, the finalists, and the winners and going, gosh, wow, those are an impressive crowd of people.
Those early prize winners gave us a level of credibility and a level of influence that we are forever grateful for.
I mean, George Archibald and Ian Douglas Hamilton and George Schaller. To be in the same room with them, it was such an honor.
When I first heard about the Indianapolis Prize, I thought, well, we have a snowball's chance in hell of winning this, but what the heck.
George, you are the 2006 recipient of the Indianapolis Prize.
Oh my gosh. I feel very humbled to be selected 20 years ago.
I started in 1952. I had many good years. I like to go out and watch animals, but you have an obligation to help protect them.
It's been enormous fun, been ups and downs. There have been really wonderful times, but also very sad times. I've always felt drawn to take on the whole picture and to do the science, feel the feelings. I hope that in some small way I may help to secure a future for the elephants.
Being a winner of the Indianapolis Prize and being part of this amazing family of people who have won the prize, I can't think of anything else I've done that was so special to me.
I still can't believe it. Something that I'd been doing all my life and doing it with a lot of heart was actually respected by the public, and that really makes a big difference.
I got emotional because I was not even expecting this, and this thing came in the right moment to give us the strength to continue.
In conservation, you work and work and work and work to try to make a difference without any direct feedback. It made me feel like, yes, we can do more of this. To know that you've done your bit and that your family knows you've done your bit is deeply important.
And a lot of people who were once quite skeptical of the work that we were doing began to realize just how effective it had been.
I am sure that it will inspire many people here in Madagascar to continue my work.
Swan. Mike Crowther called me when I was in the Detroit airport. He said, "Are you sitting down?" And he said, "You have just won the Indianapolis Prize." I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow, other people in the conservation world have considered that I'm in the same group of other people who have won this prize. It was it was and is a moment of great honor.
I believe that all the major problems that face humanity are solvable, but they can only be solved by people who have positive attitudes and can actually see a way forward. The Indianapolis Prize gives us optimism that is helping us develop that vision of what this world could be.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're with the Indianapolis Prize winner, Lily. Welcome to the Indianapolis Zoo in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's great to finally meet you. So we have just seen this story about all of the other winners of the Indianapolis Prize. What is it like for you to join this amazing group?
Yeah, it's a big honor for me to be inside of the 9 person who won the Indianapolis Prize before me. So this person did a lot of research and a lot of achievement. So to become inside of this group, it's a big honor for me.
What will winning the Indianapolis Prize do for you and all of your conservation efforts in Madagascar and beyond? What will that do for you?
Yeah, firstly, it's a big honor for me, for Madagascar, my country, and also for the biodiversity in my country, in Madagascar. As you know, that Madagascar is an island and lots of endemic species. So it will be a big honor for us to be the winner of Indianapolis.
Lily, what is that like for you to rediscover a species that many people thought was extinct?
Yeah, firstly, is a big happiness because as Madagascar signed with international convention to protect all of the species, so to have to lose the species in our country, it looks like a bad activities. So to rediscover a species, firstly is to support the Malagasy government. That Malagasy government has participated also on species conservation. And the secondly, it's around the world, as to rediscover means to have again another species to be alive for the future generations, and also to increase also our effort to protect and to learn about more species.
You know, many of us will never get to Madagascar, but we should all be conserving and doing conservation efforts to protect the wildlife, our world, What are some things that the average person can do to help with the conservation efforts?
Yeah, in Madagascar is one approach we have used is to involve the local communities to work with us to protect the natural resources like habitat of animal. And they have participated, for example, on control and surveillance on the forest. And also, they participated also on ecological monitoring. That means we gave a lot of training of local communities to learn about all animals inside of the forest. So they have participated with us to monitor all of the animals inside of the protected areas. So the involving the local communities is one important approach to do for conservation in Madagascar.
He's our Indianapolis Prize winner. Lily, congratulations and best of luck to you moving forward.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us as we celebrate 20 years of the Indianapolis Prize. It's been our pleasure to introduce all of the honorees to you, these men and women who've spent their entire lives saving species all over the world. In fact, we hope all of their hard work will encourage and inspire you to be part of the change. Until next time, goodbye from the Indianapolis Zoo.